So, as we all know, in the 2017 to 18 season, the Philadelphia Eagles went off and won the Super Bowl. But after that, they would take on a different path that was kind of unexpected. How's everybody doing today? It's Sports All back in this video. Today, I'll be telling you guys the rise and fall of the Philadelphia Eagles. Let's not waste any time. Let's get straight into it. If we take a good look at the Eagles' history, there's nothing jaw-dropping that you'll see. Before 2018, the Eagles were the type of team to have either a mediocre season or a good season but mess up in the playoffs. They just couldn't get it together. All these years of Eagles fans being depressed and the team just not showing any type of talents. But in 2018, stuff changed. First off, they finished the season with a record of 13-3, which was the first time they won 13 games in a season since 2004. Let's dig deep in stats with that team, starting off with their quarterback Carson Wentz. That season in 2018, Wentz attempted 401 passes and threw for 3,074 yards with 21 touchdowns. For rushing yards, Josh Adams led the team with 511. For receiving yards, it was the tight end Zach Ertz who had 1,163. But it's not just an incredible offense. There was also the defense that was amazing. According to TeamRankings.com, the Philadelphia Eagles were ranked third for team opponent points per game with just 18. Now looking at that straight out of the gate, that's not bad at all. Keeping a team under 20 points is not easy. But let me tell you something else that will definitely blow your mind. Now on the road, the Eagles were averaged to give up 24 points a game, which is not the best. But at home, would you like to know how many they gave up? Only 12. Yes, the Philadelphia Eagles defense was that good that season, as they gave up only 12 points at home, showing these fans how incredible of a team they are. These guys were good. Seriously good, with amazing talent and players. The type of talent that gives you a Super Bowl. But then, all of those hopeful Eagles fans and players were concerned, because just a few weeks before the playoffs would start, Carson Wentz tore his ACL. All of a sudden, all the hopes of winning the Super Bowl was at jeopardy, and it really didn't look good for the Eagles. The Eagles would end up having to start Nick Foles, who hasn't been a starter since 2015. However, Nick Foles went off as the starting quarterback. The first team that he had to play in the playoffs was the Atlanta Falcons, who were on fire the past few years. But the Eagles barely squeezed in the W by defeating the Falcons 15-10. Next up was the Minnesota Vikings. And let's just say that Foles was in beast mode. The Eagles would crush the Vikings by defeating them 38-7. An absolute blowout. But now, this is when stuff gets real. The date is February 4th, 2018, the day of the Super Bowl, and the Philadelphia Eagles had to play the New England Patriots. And this is the hot New England Patriots, back when they had Tom Brady and Rob Gronkowski. Now, when I watched that game, I was hoping the Eagles would win because I didn't want to see the Patriots win yet another one. But I didn't have too much faith in Nick Foles because I didn't know what to expect from him. But I'm sure me and plenty other NFL fans were thinking, there is no way that Nick Foles could defeat Tom Brady and the New England Patriots, right?
3rd down and 4. Foles flushed out, keeps his eyes downfield and completes it to Alshon Jeffrey. Off play action, going for it all into the end zone, and it is caught. Alshon Jeffrey for the touchdown. 4th and goal. And they're going to snap it, and it's Trey Burton who throws, caught. Foles, touchdown.
Well, I guess I was wrong. Like I said, against Minnesota, Foles was in beast mode and would defeat the Patriots 41-33, a game that was seriously entertaining. But what was next? You already got one Super Bowl. What would be next? Can they do it again? Well, let's just say they got close. Now, let me remind you that Carson Wentz was still out in 2018 due to his torn ACL, which meant that Nick Foles would have to start again. But Foles only lasted for 2 weeks because Carson Wentz would have a spot back in week 3. And the Eagles that season didn't have a 13-win type of season, but they still had a pretty good season. They finished the year 9-7 and just were able to make the playoffs, and would start off by facing the Chicago Bears. And I couldn't believe when I first heard that the Philadelphia Eagles somehow, some way, defeated the Chicago Bears 16-15, all because of a missed field goal to win the game by Cody Parkey. That one game, I'm sure, motivated the Eagles, but they would lose to the Saints the next time they played and would get eliminated. This is sort of where the fall would come for the Eagles. First off, Nick Foles would leave to go play in Jacksonville with the Jaguars the next season. But for the Eagles, the next season, once again, they'd go 9-7 and would be first in their division after that division was probably one of the worst divisions in the league. And they would end up facing the Seattle Seahawks in the wild card and would get eliminated as they lose. Now, I know the Eagles have a pretty good team, but if you take a good look at them, you're going to realize that if you look at every year when they made the playoffs, they are slowly turning into one of those teams that are quote-unquote either just make the playoffs and get eliminated or doesn't. I know the Eagles fans will hate on me for saying this, but comparing the 2019-20 season, there's a big difference to when they did it in 2017-18. Now, do I think the Eagles will improve? Well, for now, we have to wait. Once we see how the Philadelphia Eagles do this year, then our question will be answered. And it's not been starting off too well as they lost week 1 against the Washington football team. But for now, if you're asking me, I would say this is most probably the rise, but now the fall of the Philadelphia Eagles. That's going to be it for today's video, guys. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Make sure to leave a like, subscribe if you're new, and I will see you all next time. I'm out.